Hopefully.
Suzy has worked on this, and but we came up with something else that we totally do different, and that's make our chocolate chip cookies.
Yep. And so
Mine is grandkid approved.
mine is too. I make it with my grandkids all the time. So what we got here is, of course, I have my recipe on my phone,
No. Oh no.
on my app.
Here it is. Piece of paper. It's gonna be a memory. It's gonna be a memory.
Okay, so with mine, it's a different kind of chocolate chip recipe. There's no butter in it. There's no flour in it. So it's a gluten-free recipe.
You know what? I have a friend that would be interested in that. We'll have to have her on the show sometime.
Yeah. Well, it's, unless the chocolate chips, I'm not sure about them, but I think gluten-free is just no flour in it. So there is no flour in it, but I use organic oatmeal and then use my husband's favorite peanut butter, which is Chunky Jif. That's his favorite. He doesn't like the cheap brands. He likes the
I
good stuff.
agree.
Yeah.
We're a creamy house.
Before, when I made chocolate chip cookies, I put a whole bag of chocolate chips in. Your recipe calls for a whole bag?
It calls for 2 cups, and a bag is 2 cups.
Yeah, so pretty much I'll use only half a bag, which is about 3/4 cups. And I use the mini so that you get the morsels throughout the cookies.
Are your cookies going to be funny looking like your pumpkin
yes,
pie?
they will be funny looking, but they taste good. Family likes them, the family that has tried them. So, like, instead of creaming butter and sugar, I cream the peanut butter and the cream the peanut butter and the brown sugar. So there's 1 cup of brown sugar in mine, and then there's 3/4 or 2/3 cup of brown sugar, and then 2 eggs. And so I'll cream that all together. And then I also have a teaspoon of vanilla. Got to talk about your homemade vanilla.
Oh, my vanilla is homemade.
Yeah. Woo! Sharon makes this.
And several years ago, I would say it's been at least 3-4 years ago, I found a recipe for, it was in the Fargo form, told you how to make your own vanilla. So I thought, well, I'm retired. I have nothing better to do. So I did it. It's time consuming in that once a week, you gotta wiggle the jar, shake the jar, and it takes 3 months. So, but if you want it, and then you have a whole bottle. This is made with, I made my first batch with vodka. So, and you take a big bottle and a dozen vanilla beans, put them together, put it in a dark place and shake it once a week for 3 months. And you have a vanilla. You have
now, did you order your vanilla bean that you use?
Amazon.
Amazon, okay. Yeah, I was wondering where you got your...
Yes.
And then did you order a certain kind, or you just went with whatever?
I went with, there was choices, and I went with the higher end one, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't have to.
Yeah.
And you can reuse the beans. That's what was, you can make as many you still have the beans when that's done, so I did. Then I got a bottle of rum, and I made it with rum. I can tell you we prefer the vodka.
And do you just use a cheap vodka?
Cheapest stuff you can find. And I happen to have a cheap bottle of rum.
She bottled this up and gave it as Christmas present.
I gave it as
Makes
Christmas
great gift for the baker in your family. So anyway, we're going to cream our sugars.
Yep, going to make a little noise.
And like I said, I think we got the technical thing figured out on the camera here. So you got a little bit more wider view.
Chocolate chips were on sale yesterday, and my husband went shopping, bought 6 bags. So I have lots of chocolate chips. But Susan had to run out this morning.
Yeah, because I use the mini. And the mini ones are not on sale, the Nestle brand. But they did have the other ones with the store coupon for $1.29. So you can use the regular full-size chocolate chip. I just prefer not to.
Okay, I'm creaming 1 cup of butter-flavored shortening, 3/4 cup brown sugar, 3/4 cup white sugar, and You just cream it till it's light and fluffy. Looks pretty good. Put in 2 eggs. One at a time. And blend after each one.
Okay, so now I've creamed this, and so I'll show you what it looks like. You want to cream your butter and your sugar so it's a lighter and fluffier cookie. Now, you can use dark brown sugar for this recipe also, but it's not gonna, it'll make a little difference in the flavor. But the difference between light and brown and the dark is just more molasses in the dark one. So now I'm going to add my eggs. 2 eggs, I've already cracked them.
You
My
have
vanilla.
them both at the same time?
Yep, my vanilla.
I'm again going to use my 1 teaspoon scraper. Works so good. I need
you got to show that better because yesterday we showed it, but it wasn't on
yeah.
full
You
view.
set it down. It doesn't get all over the counter. It's perfect. I have several spatula and spoons for cooking. I'm a kitchen utensil junkie.
Yeah, she's got a ton of them. Where I might only have 1 spatula, she's got
Oh
a ton of
heavens,
them.
I could never cook with only 1 spatula.
So now I'm going to add my dry ingredients, which is 1 teaspoon of baking soda and my oatmeal. And so the oatmeal I use is this. Here, I'll get in a little closer so you can see it. I use the organic oatmeal, and then I take and I grind it up so it's more like flour. And I just use a food processor or whatever a blender at home is what I use. Here I used a food processor. Sharon had a food processor, so I used that. And so the oatmeal that I use is, oh man, 3/4 cup of the oatmeal.
And she processes it in the
blender or in a food processor or whatever little chopper you have, and it gets real fine, just like flour.
I've not seen these nor taste these cookies yet, so I don't know.
Well, it's different. And
yes, it is.
And the reason why is there's less sugar in this, because like in your chocolate, don't you have 3/4 cup brown and 3/4 cup white?
I got a 1.5 cups.
Right. So in here, there's only the brown sugar is a 2/3 cup. So there's less sugar.
Yep.
And
How many cookies does that make? We have to take
you know
that
what,
into consideration.
Well, you might have to double your recipe if you're going to make more.
Okay.
More
well,
cookies.
anyway.
So I make, let's see what it says here, 16 to 20 cookies. So it only makes
it only makes a few
dozen.
But
this one's real good to make with grandkids if you're not going to be saving them or whatever. And the other thing is, being I'm trying to cut back on sugar.
Yes.
Because you don't have as many cookies around, you don't eat them. So, anyway, so now I put my oatmeal in, blend that up.
I have all of my ingredients in here. I'm now going to gradually add my dry ingredients, which is 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of soda. And I've run it through the grandma's old sifter. I still sift.
I don't sift.
Well, it just, I see the difference that it makes.
It makes your cookies lighter and fluffier, right?
Yep. And this recipe I did find online several years ago when I retired, which was 6 years ago. One of my goals was to find, my goal was to find the best chocolate chip cookies. and I made a lot of chocolate chip cookies, and this was the winner. And my grandkids and I have been making these now for years, and 2 of them I know have the recipe memorized. I make them that much with them. Okay.
You need 2 teaspoons too?
No. Is that what you use? I use scoop. I have a cookie scoop, and I have cookie scoops that will work. Now, I have every size cookie scoop there is.
Here, maybe we're going to show them close up.
Yeah.
Go in closer here.
Yep. And what's neat is if you're just having the ladies over and you're going to serve cookies, I got this little one. And it makes... And the other thing, especially at Christmas time, because you overeat and everything with the sweets. So I always make my cookies with the little scoop. But the one that the kids like is a medium, and so I have 2 of those.
And this is the size I would use for a monster cookie.
For a monster cookie.
Or even if I have a bigger one, you can get even a bigger one.
This is also good for meatballs.
Oh, yeah.
Any of these are good for meatballs.
Yep. And so I use the spoons on this, but when I've done other chocolate chip recipes, I have used the scoops. The reason why I use the spoons is I usually do this with my kids, the grandkids, and then the spoons are just easier to work with for them because they're little, 4 and 2 years old.
I'm going to spray our pans with some Pam.
So she's doing that now.
Really works slick.
Okay,
Keeps your fingers from being a mess. But when the grandkids are doing it, I make them grease them with the shortening, and they have fun. They have fun with it. We're going with the medium size.
I should show the dough.
Yeah, it's really unusual. Let's compare the dough.
Yeah, so this is my dough. It's a darker dough with little chips, and of course there's not as much in the bowl.
I don't have my chips in yet, but this is my dough. And of course, this is what most of us are used to seeing.
Yep, that's what I grew up on, just as you did.
Yep.
And do you remember how Mom used to make those pan cookies? She'd take and put the cookie dough in a pan, and then she'd take and they had chocolate chips in them.
Yep.
And then she'd take and smear when they come out of the oven, she'd smear another group of chocolate chips on the top, so it's kind of like frosting. She did that when we were little.
Just the other day, we had a condo meeting, and the neighbor lady made the treats, and it was the chocolate chip bars. Just,
just like what I was talking about.
Yeah, just like, but she didn't put any chocolate on top. I don't remember Mom putting chocolate
she did it on
top.
some of them, and then some of them not, probably, I don't know whose idea, Patty was it, our other sister?
Yeah.
Patty, she was a big chocolate fan. And of course, Dee Dee's a chocolate fan too.
We have 2 more sisters.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have to bring them in as guests sometime and we'll all cook up something together. Or maybe we'll just eat something together.
That would be good.
One of my favorite things that when we were growing up was the homemade noodles that my mother made.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love them.
And they'd be hanging all over the kitchen, drying.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I'd come home for lunch from school at noon, and I knew what we were having for supper because those noodles were drying, and I love to eat them dry. When they were almost dry.
Yeah. Now I think they're kind of gross to
now
eat dry.
I don't think I would do that.
Yeah, some of the things we ate when we were kids are a lot different than what we eat now.
Macaroni and ketchup was just gross.
I hated that, yeah. So we had homemade noodle soup that was really good.
Yes, she made the best. She was a very good cook. And then as you get older, it changes a little bit, I think. Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't real.
Well,
it all depended on what she was making.
She was 41 when she had me. You know, so
she was a good cook for a long time.
Yeah, she even got to cook for the governor.
Yes.
Yeah.
When she was a young
Yeah, she took care of the kids, and then she got to make a meal.
She was like a nanny.
Yeah.
For the governor of North Dakota.
North Dakota, yeah. Well, actually, it was a farm down in Hettinger, North Dakota, where she was taking care of the kids, and then the governor came for a visit there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was Governor Moses, maybe.
Well, I think she wrote about it. Sometime.
Well, you know, if our mother was still alive, she'd be over 100 years old. She was born in 1918.
Well, she would be 100 years old.
Yeah, she'd be 100 years old. Mm-hmm. She had just turned 100 years old this year, as she would done.
Yeah.
So now I've got my cookies all trayed up here. As you can see.
You're just faster than me.
And I still have cookie dough left.
Let me see yours. Okay.
And so now mine will go in the oven. And what we'll do is we'll put them in the oven, and then we'll post some pictures later on, and then maybe we'll do a taste test again like we did with the pie. And the pie, that's about a 50-50 as far as...
Yes, we've had a few.
Neighbor ladies.
Neighbor ladies try a sliver of each, and one liked the dark and one liked the light.
Yeah, and the difference was the taste and the texture.
And the seasoning.
Yeah.
I thought they were both delicious, but I got heartburn from the
probably too much cinnamon.
Too much cinnamon.
Because I eat 1 to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon a day. I put that in my oatmeal for breakfast. So I get a lot of cinnamon. And so now my cookies have gone in the oven. And
mine will shortly. So we'll sign off for a while.
Yeah.
Okay,
we'll
bye. SOS. Call us if you need us.
Suzy.
Sharon.
Yep, bye.